Good morning, I'm Charles Lejano, and this is One News Now. President Rodrigo Duterte made several announcements last night during his meeting with the Interagency Task Force. For one, Duterte said that the coronavirus curve in the Philippines has already flattened. However, the president tells us to remain vigilant, to continue to observe proper health protocols. In the same event, Duterte also revealed that he's pardoning U.S. Marine Lance Corporal Joseph Scott Pemberton, who was imprisoned for the death of trans woman Jennifer Laude. To give us more details on the president's address, Maricel Halili is joining us from Mandaluyong. Maricel, good morning. Did the president actually say that we are already winning the war against COVID-19?
Yes, Charles. Actually, what President Duterte said last night was we are moving towards winning our fight against COVID-19. He acknowledged that as of now, they can see a flattening of the curve, meaning our R naught or the reproductive number is less than 1. At the present in Metro Manila, we're already at 0.94. So it's a huge improvement because we have already lessened the infection, the transmission to other people. But the possibility of a surge is still there.
All right, that's definitely good news then, Mase. But then what were the president's updates regarding the various COVID-19 vaccines that we've been hearing about?
During his recorded speech last night, President Duterte mentioned about 2 vaccines, one from US and one from China. He said that the Moderna company in the US is expected to release the vaccine by September, although we're not sure if it will really happen. And of course, there is China who continues to develop the vaccine. What he mentioned is that we have to analyze which vaccine is cheaper, much cheaper, and which vaccine can we afford? Because as we all know, our budget for the vaccine is also limited. So we have to choose which is more affordable.
All right, so affordability is the main priority, I suppose, at this point, so that more people can avail of the vaccine. But then moving on now to the other recommendations of the IATF, including the one to place Bacolod City and Lanao del Sur under modified ECQ, was this approved by the president, and how long will the quarantine period last?
Yes, Charles. President Duterte has already approved the recommendation of IATF to place Bacolod and Lanao del Sur under modified enhanced community starting today until September 30. This is because of the trend in the said areas. They can see an increasing number of COVID cases in Bacolod and Lanao del Sur. And of course, they also considered the bed capacity in the hospital and the critical care.
Right, but then it's not just Bacolod and Lanao del Sur. Of course, there are various other places in the country that have a high number of COVID-19 cases. Did the president mention his plan to address the spike in these specific areas?
You're right, Charles. Actually, last night, Secretary Delphine Lorenzana also mentioned that aside from Bacolod and Lanao del Sur, they are also closely monitoring Iloilo and General Santos City. In fact, I think Secretary Simado is already in Visayas to monitor the situation there. And Secretary Lorenzana, as well as other cabinet secretaries, are also planning to visit the South to check how serious is the situation in those areas. They mentioned that probably one of their considerations is to do what they did here in Metro Manila, being the epicenter of the COVID-19. Probably they will also impose a stricter quarantine to ensure that the people will follow the protocols given by the IATF.
I suppose we have to continue the trend that we've been managing for the past few weeks. That's why we have this better condition insofar as the curve is concerned, of course. But then moving on to some other issues hounding this administration, we have been hearing repeated calls for the resignation of the Health Secretary, Francisco Duque III. How has the president responded to this?
Charles, President has once again said that he still trusts Health Secretary Francisco Duque. As a matter of fact, last night he personally told Secretary Duque that this is not the right time for him to resign, despite all the criticisms coming from several sectors and the opposition. He said that based on the initial information that he got, it seems that Secretary Roque is, rather Secretary Duque is not involved in any corruption issue. He understands if there is a bit of negligence on his part, because it's not easy to handle huge organization. Being a former mayor, and the president himself said that it is not easy to supervise a huge organization. So he understands if there's a bit negligence on the part of Secretary Duque, for as long as he is not involved in any corruption issue, that's fine. He can forgive him, and he still trust the health secretary.
All right, talking about corruption allegations, Maricel, do we have any updates on the DOJ's probe into this PhilHealth scandal?
Secretary Menardo Guevara of the Department of Justice also gave an update last night. He said that, well, he expected that the investigation and the hearing will end last night. So we still have to get an update if they really concluded the investigation last night. But their target is that they have to consolidate and analyze all the information that they have gathered until the end of this week, and probably by Monday, September 14th, they can give the recommendation to President Duterte whether to file administrative case or criminal cases to some of the officials of PhilHealth.
All right, something to look forward to next week, I suppose. Let's move on to this hot issue right now that hit the headlines as of yesterday. Why exactly did President Duterte decide to pardon Pemberton?
Actually, we were also surprised with the explanation of President Duterte, considering that his presidential spokesperson used to be the legal counsel of Jennifer Laude, of the family of Laude, the victim. Last night, President Duterte said that he decided to grant absolute pardon to Lance Corporal Pemberton because, for one, there are no complaints about him misbehaving inside the detention cell. It means that he assumes that since there are no complaints, Pemberton has shown good conduct while in detention cell. Number two, President Duterte also mentioned that the Marines has no records about the detention of Pemberton, so it will be difficult for them to compute based on the GCTA. There's no basis. It's so difficult to get information as to how long should he be detained. Because since Pemberton started to undergo investigation and hearings, he has already been detained under the supervision of the Marines. So that was the explanation of President Duterte. We still have to get the reaction of Secretary Roque about this, considering that he used to be the legal counsel of Laude. Unfortunately, Secretary Roque just canceled his press briefing this noon. So we still have to wait whether he will release his statement about the issue.
All right, thank you for those updates. That was Maricel Halili reporting live from Mandaluyong. The Laude family is devastated upon learning that the American soldier who killed their daughter will soon walk free. On behalf of the Laudes, lawyer Virginia Suarez strongly denounced the absolute pardon given by the president to Pemberton. Suarez says this is not just an injustice to Jennifer Laude and her family, but to all Filipino people. She added that the pardon is proof of our country's subservience to the United States and mockery of our legal system. On the other hand, Justice Secretary Menardo Guevara confirmed that he was consulted by Duterte before making the decision to pardon Pemberton. Guevara maintains that the pardon is an act of grace on the part of the chief executive, and that he may exercise this power at any time and under any circumstance. We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News.
Charles, it is day 4 of the temporary closure of the LRT-1 Roosevelt Station. However, we are not seeing any queue of passengers here at the LRT.
Try to get in touch with JC again, who's going to tell us about the temporary closure. Right, JC, can you hear us? We're trying to connect to JC Cosico. He's reporting live from Quezon City.
Of the LRT-1 Roosevelt Station, we are not seeing any passengers here at the LRT-1 Balintawak Station on Tuesday morning. Balintawak Station now serves as the first station for passengers going to Baclaran. The closure began September 5 and will last until December 28. This is to give way for the construction of the common station to service the LRT-1, MRT-3 and 7, including the Metro Manila subway. The passengers we saw earlier were wearing face masks and face shields as the train line implements safety policies and compliance with government-approved transport guidelines under the new normal. Their temperatures are also being checked at the station entrance. Several passengers had to take an extra bus or taxi ride going to Balintawak following the closure of the Roosevelt Station. The LRMC earlier said the first train from the Baclaran and Balintawak Station will leave at around 4:30 a.m. daily. Now, on weekdays, last train from the Baclaran Station will leave at 10 p.m. and 10:15 p.m. from Balintawak Station, while the last departing train from the Baclaran Station will leave at 9:30 p.m. and 9:45 p.m. from the Balintawak Station during weekends and holidays. Charles, the LRT-1 bus augmentation program is ongoing. 10 bus units were dispatched to carry passengers from Roosevelt to Balintawak. And the LRT or this program is open from 4:30 a.m. to 10:15 p.m. on weekdays and 4:30 a.m. to 9:45 p.m. on weekends and holidays. Charles?
Thanks for that, JC. That was JC Cosico reporting live from Quezon City. For more updates, visit News 5, Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.